2015, a local middle school student named Mackenzie came to school without any of her homework done. When she explained she had had a rough night, most of her teachers dismissed it. But one teacher recognized the potential severity of the issue and brought Mackenzie to the attention of the school counselor. From there, the young girl was asked for very personal information she did not feel comfortable disclosing to a stranger. When Mackenzie finally did confess her distressed mental state, the counselor collected her things and sent her home, telling her not to return until she had received professional help. The school's solution not only left Mackenzie and her family without any information on how to help her, but it also caused her to miss a month and a half of school. When she returned, her teachers did not make any efforts to catch her up on what they had been learning. As Mackenzie struggled with her mental health and drowned in schoolwork she did not understand, she found it increasingly difficult to get better. So let me ask you, did the school do all they could for Mackenzie? Because she is not alone. NIAMI, or the National Alliance on Mental Illness, states that 1 in 5 youth suffer from a mental health condition, but nearly 80% of these children will not receive the help that they need. Why is this? And why should it matter to schools? Today, we will discuss why schools should care about their students' mental health, look at why they currently aren't, and share some possible solutions to this ongoing problem. During school time, most children will see their teachers more often than they see their own parents. Teachers read essays, recognize a change in behavior, and see how children interact with their peers. This puts teachers and other school staff into a position to more easily recognize a change in motivation. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the most common mental illnesses diagnosed amongst youth are ADHD, depression, anxiety, and behavioral problems. These issues can greatly affect a child's learning, resulting in chronic absence, low achievement, disruptive behavior, bullying, and even dropping out. In fact, NIAMI reports that 50% of students age 14 and older with a mental illness drop out of school. These conditions can affect students in their personal lives as well. According to the Center for Children in Poverty, 500,000 to 1 million youth between the ages of 15 and 24 attempt suicide each year. And 90% of them had an underlying mental illness. But these are more than just statistics. These are people's friends, family, and classmates. Moreover, students who go untreated and undiagnosed are a potential threat not only to themselves, but to others as well. According to the National Counseling Association, 78% of school shooters have a history of attempted suicide. However, only 17% of them had been diagnosed with a mental illness prior to the violent acts. With so many people needing help, leaving it unaddressed denies millions the help that they deserve. If so many people are struggling, why isn't anything being done? Upon talking to a psychologist from Mackenzie's district, Erica Seguiz, it became apparent that the school is not necessarily the issue. The problems are the scarcity of resources, the stigma surrounding mental health, and the general population's lack of knowledge about mental health support options. According to MLive, the recommended ratio of school psychologists to students is 1 to 600. But a school can have one psychologist from anywhere between 800 to 4,000 students. As you can imagine, this greatly allows for students to fall through the cracks. Despite the obvious necessity of resources for those who struggle, there are currently no laws to help students struggling with mental health through school. Why? Unfortunately, mental health only becomes a public concern when a national tragedy happens, like a mass shooting or public suicide, often perpetuating a stigma. A mental health stigma can stem from the media or those around us, and allow one to unconsciously hold a prejudice against those who struggle with mental illness, resulting in stereotyping, shaming, and even demeaning anyone with a mental illness. According to MLive, of students who reported being victim to the stigma, 35% said it came from school staff in forms of dislike, avoidance, and underestimation, while 46% said it came from family in distrust, gossip, and pity. With such negative consequences that could potentially harm one's mental state, most children will not seek out the help they need or lend a hand to those who need it. Now that we have learned why schools care about their students' mental health, why they currently aren't, let's look at some possible solutions. Many schools, such as the Boston Public School, have already begun incorporating mental health screenings into their yearly tests. This test can be done easily and quickly, and once a year, like a hearing or vision test. This test allows a professional to decide, based on asking questions, if a student should seek an outside diagnosis. But how can you, on a more personal level, help? According to Ashley Boston, she says, I find when I explain what mental health is, being a disease, people think twice before making comments. I also remind them that they wouldn't make fun of someone with heart disease or cancer. By talking positively, openly, and equally about mental illness, Ashley stops the stigma one day at a time. And you can too. Today, we talked about why students should care about their students' mental health, why they currently aren't, and explain some possible solutions to this national epidemic. So let me ask you, what is your district doing to help our students? Thank you.